Midas Touch is the headquarters of Dark Woke, a group of Democrats that I've always been in support of because they remind me of like a early era Bush era liberalism. Libs used to be way more aggro on war. There was a anti-war contingency in the liberal movement. Okay, a lot of people forget this. Liberals were not this pathetic. Okay, I mean, they were, time adjusted, they were still fairly pathetic, but like in comparison to where liberals are now, they used to go out and take it to the streets. We need to put an end to this nonsense, and these wars are illegal. They were anti-war. Barack Obama basically destroyed resistance liberalism and repackaged it as shut up and follow the party leader. As long as you have a charismatic guy leading the way, just shut up and listen to what I have to say and say, thank you, please, sir, can I have some more? Know your place. You remember 2003 very differently than I remember liberals in 2003. In comparison to what it looks like now, I think that there was definitely a lot more liberals that were anti-intervention, anti-war on terror. It was reflected by Congress as well. Obviously, in the initial stages, it was like overwhelming support for this, overwhelming support for obviously invading Afghanistan, overwhelming support even for Iraq as well. But that quickly fell apart. And ultimately, there were still anti-war resistance from mainstream liberals. Okay. The media was firmly committed to the continuation of the war on terror. Politicians were overwhelmingly committed to the continuation of the war on terror. But there was still a lot of like popular artists and a lot of people that were saying like, this is unacceptable. Did you support invading Afghanistan? No, dog, I'm Turkish. Why the would I ever support that? No, I am an anti-interventionist from the start. Automatically, I grew up in Turkey. Of course, from my perspective, I've always been America should immediately remove itself from Middle Eastern affairs. And American intervention in the Middle East is, and by the way, I was 10, but it doesn't even matter. Like, even as a 10-year-old, if you grow up on that side of the world, you already have baked in resentment for American intervention. That's like the starting position. So if you want to understand my worldview, then yes, even as like, even when you're like 13, you already have this baked into your consciousness. Turks are interesting because they're NATO's strongest soldiers, but also hate American intervention in the region, weirdly enough. But didn't you say that you were an Ameriboo, though? Not trying to refute, just trying to understand. Yes, you are coming to the conclusion that you're beginning to realize how cultural imperialism works. This position is the most popular position on the planet. People who despise American foreign policy or despise the American government, but absolutely love American culture is basically the norm. That's precisely the reason why so many of these polls that come out, wherever people ask like, what's your opinion on America? Everyone says like super popular. Like everyone says America is great. They're talking about American culture. They're talking about movies. They're talking about Hollywood. They're talking about burger. Okay. They're not talking about American intervention. Most people, I would say, outside of the United States of America, absolutely despise the American government, despise American foreign policy, but they love, black culture. That's a huge one as well. They love burger. They love black culture. They love Hollywood. They love the music. You're talking to a dude who wore a Nelly Band-Aid to school, man, in Turkey, in Ankara. Okay. What do you mean? There's perhaps no better indication of like complete and utter dominance than a Turkish teenager wearing a Nelly Band-Aid under his eye to school. Why the was I doing that? Why did I do that? Why did I wear a Nelly Band-Aid under my eye to school? Why did I do that? Yeah, and also most other people didn't know what that was. So they looked at me and they were like, are you trying to cover a zit? So I had to take it off immediately in shame. And I never did it again. But just understand, like, that is a great example of how dominant a force American culture is, specifically black culture, around the globe. Anyway, when I studied abroad, the Australians were obsessed with American frat and sorority life. Yeah, that's another... Dude, I watched Greek, okay? The TV show. It was like a USA TV show. And I was like, Blue Mountain State. I love that shit, dude. I love that shit. Definitely wore a do-rag. I would have. There's just no do-rags in Turkey. Dude, first of all, I wore Echo Unlimited, all right? So yes, I was 100p obsessed with black culture, straight up. When I was growing up, are you kidding me? Are you joking? I had like South Pole shit. Yes. We need you wearing the Nelly Band-Aid and Echo again for DreamCon gang. No, I can't do that anymore. I'm 33 years old in the United States of America for the past 12 years. It would look strange. I was rocking An Was, yes. I have another funny story about my mom getting me a pair of Shaquille O'Neal shorts, and then everybody like me trying to sell it off as though it was Jordan, because Shaquille O'Neal, if you remember, Shaquille O'Neal released like shoes and also shorts as well. I remember because it had like Shaq dunking as the logo. So I tried to sell it off as though it was Jordan's, and no one believed it. Yeah. It was so embarrassing. I was never allowed to wear it ever again. I used to watch N1 Hot Sauce mixtapes and try to emulate the ball handling and fail spectacularly. These ones, bro, they were so long too. Yes, I had these exact shorts, bro. They were so long. They were so long, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, I tried to pawn this off as though it was Jordan's. Let's see. We got big drama. Stavi Baby exposes alongside PFT Hasanabi Piker. Let's see what
Susan Snatch wants to know: is Hasan as beautiful in person as on screen?
Wait, what is this?
In person as on screen.
It's all smoke and mirrors. He's got a whole team of beauticians over there. He's disgusting in real life. He doesn't pay them. They're migrant workers that he threatens. He has all their passports, and if they talk back, he won't let them see their families for,
I have what's the UAE style? What is it called? The system where they like grab the passports. Kafala. Yeah, I got the Hasan Kafala system.
Ramadan. He's a real piece of shit, that guy.
I think his camera angle keeps getting like lower and lower so that his shoulders just look bigger and his head looks smaller. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Okay, PFT, what is this? Hey, yo, what is this? Stop it. God, I love these guys. They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He's rocking like Kyle Kuzma sweaters now.
He does, yes.
They're just massive shirts.
And he has that little ass head.
Yeah.
Oh, the Albacam overpowered.
The fucking haters, dude. The goddamn haters, dude. Yo, chill with the Kyle Kuzma sweater. This is crazy. I had no way of responding to this too. What the